the Channeling Spirit Virtual Summit, a platform where we have invited Spirit to share messages, healings, and transmissions with all of us. May this energetic experience help us to expand our awareness and to deepen the relationship we have with our higher self, our spiritual team, and with Source, however we define them. Thank you for being here and for taking part in this amazing journey. So welcome to the Channeling Spirit Virtual Summit, Episode 2. My name is Daniel Martinez Stahl, and there's a couple of things that I want to do. I want to pin, I'm struggling with this. I want to pin Marilyn, and I want to pin myself. Okay, so this is Episode 2 of the Channeling Spirit Virtual Summit. Marilyn said that this is my show, which is really not accurate. This is really her show. Marilyn loves to know where people are from, so please feel free to continue putting into the chat where you're from. Marilyn, this is very low-key, very informal. A lot of what I wanted to do for these conversations is really allow your team to have center stage. So if anything, it's really their show, and however that manifests through you would be fantastic. For the benefit of the listeners, I would love for you to just talk to us a little bit about what channeling means to you, how you kind of got into it, or anything else that you want to share about what channeling is to you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Marilyn Alauria, and thank you, Daniel. And I'm a psychic medium, teacher, coach. I've been teaching people around the world for many years. I've been in business for, I think, almost 16 years now, how to communicate with their guides. And communication with your guides is also channeling. But I teach people how to have an intimate relationship with their guides. I believe that we all do have guides, and I also believe that we're all gifted. So it doesn't matter what age we're at, what experiences we had when we were younger. It used to be that if you didn't have these experiences when you're younger, if it didn't run in your family, then you weren't gifted, which I don't believe in, you know. And even though I had those, I have a family, it comes in my family. I've had it since I was a kid. Didn't know that's what I had. A lot of you will have, as you wake up to these more of these gifts and everything, and you're already conscious. I know that, and I hate those types of words, but forgive me. You're going to remember the things that happened when you were little that you didn't ascribe to channeling and guides. So it is my work, my mission to teach people how to have an intimate relationship with their guides, to tap into the information that's inside their soul, the wisdom, which is what their guides help them do, so they get the answers that they need. Also to elevate their gifts, grow their gifts, open up new gifts, and live a co-creation with their guides in this magical dance of this lifetime that we have in this universe. I actually have a book coming out on June 28th called, oh my goodness, the title always escapes me, but it's about guides. So guides, mystical connections to soul guides and divine teachers. I was actually working on the final edit before this call. I'm not going to do a lot of talking because I like to do a lot of teaching, but I'm just going to share a little bit with you. So I teach people how to communicate with their guides in my programs, Membership for Your Soul. Soul Finder Academy is more about getting your own self out of the way, because a lot of times what gets in your way is mind chatter. It's not that you're not gifted. It's not that you don't have access to your guides. It's not that you don't have guides or you haven't met them yet. It's that your mind chatter is getting in the way. Your self-doubt is getting in the way. How many people in the chat can relate to that, where they may have struggled and said, I don't know if it's my imagination. I might be making this up. I can't trust it. Do you go in and out of struggles with that? I'd like to know. Yesterday, I was speaking to a woman who was telling me about her first experience with a guide. And she said, but here's the thing. I don't know if it's my imagination or not. What do you do? And I have a lot of tips and techniques that I teach around that. But my answer to her was what my guides answered me. I said to my guides early on in the journey, how do I know I'm not making this up? And they said to me, we're giving you great advice. Who cares? And I was like, oh my goodness, you're totally right. So I want you to, in this conversation, I'm going to look what you said, to really embrace your relationship with your guides, to embrace your relationship with yourself. Your guides are the highest reflections to your truth, to your soul, and they directly reflect what's already going on inside of you. They are here to communicate with you through the symbolic language of your soul. It's something I teach. The symbolic language of your soul is, let's do this. Okay, so I teach experientially. I'm not a big lecturer. I'm actually rereading my book and I'm like, oh, just skip to the experiential part. Like, this stuff is great. It's outlining things, but you're gonna, if you get that book, if you decide to buy my book, when you go to the experience part, holy mackerel, you're gonna have experiences. So let's do this. I wanna do something with you guys right now. I wanna show you how this works. And Daniel, you can just cut me off at any time.
You're good.
Okay, good.
There's one thing that I did want to mention, because you talk about your spirit team or that are guides, and I always include the higher self as being one of our guides, because that's something that I want to emphasize, is that our guide team includes our higher self. That is an integral part of our spiritual team. So I just wanted to kind of add that little bit in.
Yeah, and I agree with that too, but I also come from the school of, if that resonates with you, then that's great. If it doesn't resonate with you, then that's great too. And I know you do too. I know you're open-minded and stuff like that. So, or I don't know, I can't speak for you. But yes, your higher self is definitely was my first guide that I met. So I agree with that 1,000%. And it's one of the most important guides to get in touch with, and we all have access to it right away. So I wanted to do a little exercise with you guys, but I'm like, somebody said they can relate. Wendy, great. Let's do this. Just have a little fun right now, and then we'll go more into guides and channeling. And I want to talk about channeling a bit. I'm just making a note so I don't forget. I didn't know it was my show, so here I am making it my show right now. I got lovely Sandra Pelly, who's in my communities and also a very talented medium. So it's so nice to see her face. Before I go into channeling and talking about channeling, and then I will open up to Q&A and readings and stuff like that, so you can see how I work. I want to talk a little bit more about that. I'd also love to know from you guys, what is it, why are you here today? What is it that you want to learn today? That would be really beneficial to me. So I usually read the energy of the group. I use rose water to clear energy when I'm doing work like this, because it just helps me to remove anything that's in the way. Or if I do a reading for someone and I have to move to someone else, then I just spray a little rose water. So tell me, what's the reason why you're here? What is the thing that you really, really want to learn or engage? Sandra said, further understanding about the different levels of channeling. That's a great question. And then I promised you we're going to play some games too. Everybody is being quiet. I don't like quiet people. Where to start? Great, Bev. Thank you. Okay. You can be quiet if you have to, but all right. So before we go into what is channeling, how it works, why I feel it's really important to do it, how everybody has access to it, let's just play a little game right now. Okay. So I'm going to ask you a question. You have to participate in the chat. Otherwise the game doesn't work. I want you all to tell me right now what butterfly means to you. Tell me what butterfly means to you in the chat. Transformation, freedom, flying high, magic. Great. Sometimes there's a delay. Lightness, beautiful. True potential. Love that. So you can now see how you all just took an everyday symbol. How many of you see repetitive symbols, numbers over and over again, butterflies, squirrels, smell something? How many of you see repetitive or feel or hear repetitive symbols repeatedly, especially numbers constantly? Great. Smells great. Yes, love it. Okay. So I'm going to continue on with this thread, but I want to ask another question. How many of you already know that that's your guides communicating to you through that symbol? Is that a yes or a no? Do you recognize that that is your guides communicating through a symbol? Yes. Bev said no. Sandra said yes. Yes. Great. That is definitely your guides communicating to you. Our guides use what I call the symbolic language of our soul. They use our life experience, repetitive symbols for us to have an intimate conversation with them. So let's do one more thing. Everybody think of a question they have. Okay. Now tell me, what does a candle mean to you? What does a candle mean to you? Put that in the chat. Hope. A candle means lighting up the dark or changing the smell of an area. Beautiful. Light. Okay. Keep going, guys. You got, and nobody can get this wrong. You can't get this wrong. This is your symbolic language. What do candles mean to you? Something indescribable but comforting. Beautiful. Keep going. Inner flame. Beautiful. Okay. So now I want you to go a little bit further with me right now. New beginning, a portal. Great. Love this. Why? I have a secret question that I'm not telling you guys about right now. I just want you to have an experience. You could read, you can listen to lectures, you can listen to people teach you, and it's super important. It is very important to learn that way. But I feel that people learn by listening to lessons, teachings, but also having an experiential experience. That's where the biggest root takes place. Like you just anchor into it. You're like, oh my goodness, I didn't know that could happen. So that people that are answering, and I know some of you may be afraid to answer or not comfortable with answering, that's totally fine. A lot of this is coming in 1211. We'll talk about that in a second. If you were to guess why Spirit said to you, the candle means inner flame, or the candle means new beginning, or the candle's about a portal. Can you use that in a sentence? Like, Spirit wants me to know that there's a portal for me to go through, or Spirit wants me to know that this is a new beginning right now, this moment. Can you put this in a sentence for me right now? Light. Spirit wants me to know to follow the light. Whatever it is, it could be Spirit wants me to know, and then whatever it is. Okay. So do that right now. Just put it in a sentence. You can't get this wrong. One of the best things I learned from one of the first mediums I learned from, who was friggin' crazy, I didn't study with her for long, was that you can't worry about wrong or right when you do this work. You have to be. Spirit wants me to know I can be comforted. Beautiful, Bev. I love that. Keep going. Spirit wants me to remember the light I am. Katie, beautiful. Love that. There's a delay, but I really want you guys participating because you're new to me. Spirit wants me to step into a higher awareness. Beautiful. Spirit wants me to know there's always light. Beautiful. Okay. So I asked you to hold a question in your heart. I did have a secret question, which I'll share in a minute. Do you feel that this answer you got that you just wrote down, is that a direction or an opening to a solution? Can this sentence be an answer to your question? It may not be the full answer because they don't always answer right away, but can this sentence be helping you to get to your answer? Give me a yes or a no. Yes, yes, maybe. Great, Sandra. Sandra knows how this works, so I know that yes. Okay, cool. Okay, no. Okay. Jess, I'm curious I'm not worried about Sandra because I know her so well and she does this work. Jess, I'm curious as to why it's a no. Was your answer a yes or no answer? I'm curious as to why it was a no. So the secret question I had for you is, what do you need right now to go into your soul to get the answers? What do you need right now to go into your soul to get to the answers? So I'm going to go back up and go to Bev. Bev said, Spirit wants me to know I can be comforted. So the secret question and the secret answer for you, Bev, is to just spend time inside your soul and you're going to feel more comforted. You may be getting very distracted by outside noise or worries and fears and anxiety. The bills aren't getting paid. The kids drive me nuts, whatever's going on. And Spirit's inviting you inside your soul to feel the comfort. Katie, whatever question you had, Spirit wants you to know that you are the light, and spend some time in the light in your soul, and you will get to the answer. Sandra, Spirit wants you to know that what you need to go into your soul is this higher awareness, this higher understanding. The more that you're in the higher awareness and higher understanding, the more you're going to get the answers you need. Okay. Yeah, so Jess said I didn't have a question. I have needed answers, but the candle just reminded me of both my parents who just passed. But I don't know what else you got besides that, Jess. So there's probably information there because you didn't answer any of the other questions except for the no. So it's hard for me to help you, sweetie, but I can help you if you give it to me. So I want to move on from here. I want to ask you. That's fine. But I can't help you, Jess, unless it's like I get all the answers, but it's okay. It's all good. It's all good. Let's just keep moving on. And then I'm going to open to Q&A. Let's talk about channeling. Let's talk about what you just did. Let's talk about maybe confusion and not knowing what they're saying. There are different types of channeling, right? There's, and I'm not going to remember all the types right now. There's, darn, I wasn't prepared for this. So I'm not going to remember them because I do a channeling that is basically semi-conscious channeling. And what semi-conscious channeling is basically, I am not leaving my body completely. I am standing in the corner and my guides are speaking through me. Now there's different, there's semi-conscious, there's conscious channeling, there's relay channeling, and then there's trance channeling. So relay channeling is when I am talking to a spirit, say a deceased loved one, and the deceased loved one is giving me information, and then I'm relaying it to the person I'm talking to. Semi-conscious channeling, conscious channeling is when I'm in communication with my guides. I'm very aware of what's going on, what they're saying. I'm asking them questions, they're answering. I do everything into a recorder. I don't write it. So when I'm in a conscious state of channeling, when I channel, I will say to my guides, what do I need to know about going to dinner tonight with my friends? You can ask any type of question. And I will hear the answer like, well, you need to be open with them and honest with them and maybe not have too many drinks, whatever they want you to know. And I'll repeat their answer into a recorder, everything they say. And if I'm seeing something, and if I'm feeling it, if I'm sensing it, if I'm knowing it, it's all going into a recorder. There's different ways of communication with your guides. They're seeing, hearing, feeling, sensing, knowing, smelling, so many ways. Semi-conscious is when they'll say to me, which we don't do that often anymore because we're so connected. We've been communicating for so long, but they would say to me, we want to just talk through you now. So I would literally like feel myself sit in the corner of the room or stand in the corner of the room, and they would speak with me, but I was still present. I wasn't allowing them to fully take over, but I was allowing them to take over. I wasn't asking questions, and they were just channeling through me information, and I was repeating it. I was saying whatever they wanted me to say, whatever I was feeling, whatever I was hearing into a recorder. You will not remember channel sessions. They are like, I don't remember them. I don't remember readings. They have to be recorded. Trance channeling is when they take over your body completely and they are coming through you. It's what Abraham Hicks does. It's what Jane Roberts did. They were not aware. They were not conscious. They left the room. It was believed that it's a little bit dangerous and that you have to have a person who is not channeling by your side to keep you safe, because if an earthquake happens or something disruptive happens, you could be in this very trance state and not be able to react to the physical experience that's happening in the room. So it's usually known that somebody is there with them to keep them safe. I don't know how accurate that has to be today because I'm not a trance channeler, nor am I willing to be a trance channeler. It's not something I'm willing to do. You get to decide what you give your guides access to do. I've seen too many people bowing down to their guides, and it's not something you want to be doing. When you bow down to your guides, when I bow down to my guides, the first time I ever did that, they bowed down to me. And I was like, whoa, what's going on here? And they were like, well, you're helping us as much as we're helping you. So that is the things of channeling. I'm going to talk about gifts really quick, and then I'm going to turn it around to you guys or see if Daniel has anything else he wants me to cover. The gifts that we use, I hear this in mediumship all the time. So I speak to deceased loved ones, right? It is not the only thing I do. Some people are mediums where they just speak to deceased loved ones. That's not me. My deceased loved ones will come in and they're going to tell you how to live your life. They're not going to be like, they'll say in the beginning, so we know that we're definitely connecting with them. Thank you so much for holding my hand as I was passing you. Thanks for feeding me the chicken soup. They'll give you accurate information. But then my deceased loved ones come in and they're like, now get on with your life. This is what you need to do. This is where you need to go. I see, hear, feel, sense, and know. Do you guys know which gifts you're using right now? Put it in the chat. I'm not looking at the chat right now because I just want to stay focused on the teaching part of this. Seeing is clairvoyancy. There's many different ways to see. There's so many different ways. I'm not going to get into it now. Hearing, clairaudience. That's linear. It's like sentences. Claircognizance, knowing, is when you get downloads. A lot of people get that in channeling. It's hard to get it out linear when you're getting downloads because you'll get tons of information. And then when I'm getting tons of information, I just have to try to get it into sentence form because I'm also feeling, seeing, hearing, knowing as the knowing's coming in. Sensing is clairsentience, your intuition. And then knowing I did, and then empathic ability, how you feel. You can pick up physical energy or emotional energy. I'll stop there since Daniel went and we'll see what he wants to do.
Oh, I didn't realize I was on air. I apologize. I didn't mean to turn off my mute. I didn't turn that off anyway.
That's okay.
Let me pin myself back for the recording. I had no intention of distracting you. Like I say, I didn't unmute
Oh, it's
myself.
fine because I'm going to pause anyway. I'm not saying like I'm not somebody who just talks for hours on end. I like to get into experience and experiential stuff. So it's whatever you want me to cover, I'm fine with.
Yeah, no, I think that what you're doing is beautiful. You know, one of the things that I would love for you to get into a little bit later on is to allow your team to share their message, whatever it is that they would like to share with us. That's the only request that I have at any point in time.
Okay, sure. So the next place I'll go to then is some of the questions. Let me see what questions you guys have right now at this point. It's way too much to cover in 1222. Okay, I'm just going to take the numbers down. It's way too much to cover in such a brief amount of time. It's a very big topic. And it's a great topic, okay? Channeling will truly shift your life. What I love about channeling is I very rarely seek outside counsel. I don't go for readings anymore. I don't need to go for readings. I don't find that there's many readers out there that can do accurately for me what my team can do for me. And what will happen with my guides is, say I go to a coach, say I hire a coach or a teacher or a mentor, I will go to them and ask them, what do you think? Like it happened yesterday. I almost signed up for a program with a coach and it was, my guides are like, no, I don't think you don't need this. And this is why, and this is the reason, and go check with your peer, a friend of yours. And the friend was like, no, you don't need this. And it was just absolute confirmation. I don't sit on the fence in my life. I don't sit in indecision for long at all. I don't need to. I find a lot of people in the spiritual community tend to sit on the fence because they can't figure out, they're so afraid to take action. They may know they're a healer, they're a psychic, but they're afraid. Your guides are going to get you off the fence. They're going to get you into action in your life, and they're going to get you living a life that is from your highest soul, your highest reflection. So that was the different levels of channeling that I discussed. And you can channel with planets, you can channel with your guides. They don't have to be physical at all. They could have never walked the earth plane before. It could be an animal. It could be a body of water. It could be a tree. It could be a whole star system. It could be a star you don't even know the name of. It could be just energy and light and color and shape. That I had one of those above my head. It could be angels. It could be ascended masters. It could be, all sorts of things. Everything is energy. Their energy, we're energy. We communicate with them. They also don't use words, at least the guides I work with. It's all vibration. And I communicate what they're giving me through vibration. I am interpreting through my own words. That's why the symbolic language of your soul, what I did before, is super important, because the way if I see a butterfly in a reading, it's got a huge significance for me. So I'm able right away, unless my guides are like her father, Frank, is here, and I once had a woman, I was reading her, and the father was in there and he just kept saying, blue jay, blue jay, blue jay, blue jay. And I'm like, does blue jay mean anything to you? Because I had nothing. They weren't giving me a meaning with it. They'll drop in the meaning if it doesn't have to do with me. And the girl was like, oh my goodness, that was my nickname for me. That's what he called me. Or if I see a butterfly and Spirit's giving me my whole story, I know that I'm meant to tell the person about what the butterfly means from my perspective. So what you can ask your guides to do is say, don't just give me a symbol, let me know what it means. And if you don't get anything, ask yourself, do I have a memory of the symbol? How do I feel about the symbol? What was I thinking about when I saw this symbol? How do I relate to this symbol? So like I said, this is a lot of ground to cover in a very short period of time. So I'm kind of gonna go with that. To find confidence in what channeling is for me, Katie asked, and I'm going back to the other questions. Honestly, Katie, one of the biggest tools I give people, and it'll be in my book too, is to trust for 30 days. You're not going to get, it's what comes first, the chicken or the egg, right? We can't, like I see so many healers and psychic and mediums do this. I'm going to wait until I have this before I do that. And I'm like, it's simultaneous. That's why I have so much to say. So what I want you to do is just say, I'm going to trust what channeling is going to help me. Set an intention, Katie. I'm going to trust that channeling is going to bring me to my highest purpose. For 30 days, that's what I'm going to trust. And when something comes through, I'm just going to say, is this for my highest purpose? And if it feels like it is, then I'm going to trust it and move forward. It's that simple. People complicate it. Okay, let me see if there's any other questions. Okay. Could you repeat the senses? Thank you. So there's, where's that book? I have a book that's this thick that tells you all the psychic gifts. It's huge. I can't find it right now because I couldn't even give you the title of it. There's so many psychic senses, so many ways that we communicate. The ones that I use, clairvoyancy is seeing, clear seeing. There's many different ways to see though. There's third eye projection, there's in your third eye, there's physical manifestation, there's many different ways. Clairaudience is hearing, that's linear, it's like sentences. It's like the way you hear me. Clairaudience, it lives in your throat chakra, it's all about speaking your truth to yourself. There's a lot there too. Clairsentience to me is intuition. That's me. People have different, so it's sensing things. It's that gut feeling. It's like I get a sense about something. Empathic ability is in your heart chakra, and that is feeling emotional. The spirit comes in, they want you to feel everything they felt before they passed. And you're like, whoa, wait, dude. Or I'm reading someone, I'm like, yo, you're depressed. Or I remember I was reading a woman and I was like, your daughter is super depressed right now in college, very depressed. She's like, no, my daughter's fine. And then she came back to me and she said, yeah, I called her and she was really depressed. There's something going on. So thank you. So you can pick up emotional energy or you can pick up physical energy. I was in a reading once and I'm like, did you break your ankle, your right ankle? And the woman was like, yeah. So you can get physical energy. You could also pick up energy of location. People died here. This is sad, stuff like that. And then the other one is claircognizance, which is deep knowing. So that's associated with a bunch of chakras for me when I teach it. So that's claircognizance, that's downloads. Okay. What if we are so new to channeling, you aren't sure of the clairsenses we have? Great question, Katie. What I would suggest you, Katie, right now, answer me, which one do you want? Which one do you want? And everybody can answer that. They usually highlight one gift over the others so that you master that gift. Many times people are feeling empathic and they shut down their heart because they don't know how to handle it. But you can feel and not shut down your heart and learn how to protect and stuff. And I don't believe in protection. I'm not going to get into that conversation. I'm just a different channeler than probably people you've met. So there's nothing wrong with feeling at all. Feeling is great. But you may want to see too. You layer the gifts after you start working with them. But my point of this is they're usually highlighting one over another. So what you want may not be necessarily what they're doing to you, but that's okay. Focus on two if you want to. So we'll see what you guys answered in a second. What's the road this morning? That for my God, this is very helpful. Thank you. Okay, good. I'm not very purposely channeled, but I've always been an empath and always been able to hear people talking, and have recently just figured out it's been spirits talking. I'm here to learn how to tap into my natural abilities of channeling. Great, Julia. How do I use my intuition? I've been told that I'm very intuitive. Okay, so that's Bev. You have to, where do you get your intuition? So here's the whole thing. It's so great that we're all gathered here, that Daniel created this space for all of us to gather together. But here's the thing. This is not a language you learn in an hour. This is a studied, practiced thing. So for intuition, I do a simple exercise for that. First, where is your intuition usually? Mine's in my stomach. Some people it's in their heart. You probably already know where it is, Bev, when you get that feeling. Start with the yes or no's. What's a color? I have to bring you into the intuition. I bring you into the space. Then you go into the space, if it's in your heart, and ask yourself, what color is a yes to me? Ask yourself right now, close your eyes, go into where that intuition is. What color is a yes? And just feel into that. And it can change down the line, but just what color is it today? And then ask yourself, wipe that away. Whoo, 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 gone. What color is a no? Now, anytime you want to work with your intuition, what colors did you get? Give me your colors. Mine is yellow and black. Yes is yellow, black is no. So if I want to know intuitively what I feel about something, because you don't wait until it happens to you, you go out and use it, and that develops your gifts. So say I want to have an intuitive feeling about hiring this coach that I spoke to yesterday. I'll go into my stomach, I'll put the experience in there, and I'll see what color shows up. Normally the color that shows up, like right now, it's actually a little yellow with black, because the conversation was powerful. So you just I teach that you're the instrument. You have to learn how to read it. I am barreling a lot of stuff on you guys, a lot of different things I'm giving you. And if you walk away with one thing, that's great, because it's way too much that I'm giving you in one period of time and just skating the issues. Okay, great. Seeing some things. Okay, great. Black, red. So you got colors right away, yellow and red. Great. Good job. So what I would like to do is, Daniel, what do you want? I mean, I can go into guidance, and then I'd love to go into Q&A, because this is way too much to cover. And sometimes I think it's better to ask questions of people. And when I answer people, they're going to learn more. So what do you want? You're muted now, and I'm not that psychic. I tell people that all the time on Zoom, and I don't read lips.
Yeah, I think that your idea is beautiful. Let's do that.
Okay. Okay. Everybody just close their eyes. Breathe. And as you're breathing, I want you to recognize that your breath is connection to your guides. This is the divine right that you have to do this work. Now, I want you to find a spot within your physical being where there's a light. And I want you to breathe into that light. And I want you to recognize the power you already have to accelerate that light. So just take a few moments. I'm going to get quiet and just breathe into that light. Now, as you breathe into it, think about something that you would really love to have, an intention with your guides, to open up to channeling, to open up to clairaudience, whatever it is. Set it as an intention. It's not like, oh, please let me have this. It's like, I intend to hear clearly in 3 months. I intend to feel my guides and to communicate with them, because that's a co-creative action. It's not a desire that's put out into the world that's empty. You, with this light inside of you, which is representative of your higher beings, your higher self, your guidance, is asking that you take on this power of communicating. Now, my spirit guides, my guides are here. So they're going to start communicating through now. One of the things they want you to know is a lot of you are very stuck in your throat chakra. And the reason why you're stuck in your throat chakra is because this is something that you've been yearning to do for quite some time, and you have not physically, consciously acknowledged it out loud. You haven't said it out loud, especially to yourself. It's not about saying it to other people and having to deal with fear. It's about recognizing that your throat, your chakra, your throat chakra is your truth center besides your heart. Your heart is also your truth center. And spirit wants you to speak out loud what it is that you intend in this lifetime. They said desire is okay as long as the desire has the part of you that believes in it. That light that we just brought you to inside your soul is the part of you that believes in yourself. So we want you to engage all your being. We don't want you to look outside yourself for what you already have inside of you. We are already around you. And when we say we, it's not so this is me, that my guides are speaking to your guides. That's how it works. And it goes through me. So just know that my communication with you is from them speaking to all your guides. They also know who's listening to the replay. They know how to get this information through. So they're asking for you to spend time in your throat and in your heart chakra. They said, pick a hand now. One goes over your throat chakra. One goes over your hand chakra, over your heart chakra. And breathe into the truth center inside of you. And as you stick your palm on your throat chakra and your palm on your heart chakra, recognize that your palms are facing you. Why is that? Because all that you need, you have inside of you. And if you make a decision right now to speak with spirit, and to not be afraid, we are going to communicate more clearly to you, because what's going to happen is the blinders are going to come off and you are going to be fully present to our messages. Can you do that now? And if it's a resounding yes, great. If it's a maybe, that's okay too, because later on, you can do this on your own and you can work your way into comfort with your own guides. Now, the throat chakra is still bothering us. So there's a part of you that is afraid to speak this truth to others. How do you tell others what you do, that this is your new identity? When you get comfortable with it, everybody around you will fall in line. And the people that don't, you won't care, because you will fully be in the presence of who you are. You will fully be in the essence of who you are. You will own and accept yourself fully. And that's how you're meant to operate in this life. Now, it's okay if you stumble and fall. It's okay if you have self-doubt, because that's what the human existence is about. That's what we're here to help you do. So when you stumble over something, or you're scared, or you lack confidence, that's when we want you reaching for us, because we can support you through those times. We can help and guide you. Now, they want everybody to breathe into their throat chakra, because it still needs to be cleared on this call. So what they would like you to do is put up a hand to your throat chakra and breathe into your throat chakra. Breathe in a circular pattern as if the front of your throat is 12 noon, the back of your throat is 6 p.m. You're breathing as if you're standing in the center of your throat, and you're breathing in a clockwise fashion around you. So see yourself standing in the middle of your throat. And if you can't see it, imagine it. Just say, I'm standing in the center of my throat, and breathe 3 times in a clockwise fashion. But here's the thing, you need to fill it with what you desire. What they mean by that is, I intend to hear. I intend to speak my truth. I am the truth. I am a channeler. Do it now. Notice the walls, the cemented walls dissolving. going away as you breathe. You're free. Notice how your breath feels in your body now. How do you feel now than you felt in the beginning of the call? Are you frustrated? Are you peaceful? Are you excited? None of these emotions are wrong. We want you to make friends with them. We communicate through feeling. We want you to know how you feel about something so you can make decisions about where to go, who to talk to, what to say, and what to do. Feel your feet on the ground. Decide how to walk in this world. Know that you're here not by accident, but because you're gifted. Feel your legs. Feel your torso. Feel your heart. Feel your throat. Feel your face. Light your face up. Don't hide it. It is a chakra. Your third eye, your crown, your arms, your fingers. Walk out into the world, deciding to be fully yourself. Now breathe into that light again. Where is that light now? Can you feel it? Can you see it? If you were to put your ear up to it, what would it sound like? What would it be singing to you? And when you're ready, open your eyes. So that is how I work. Usually channeled messages when I'm doing readings are a little bit different, but normally it'll be a guided meditation of some sort so that you can have the experience with my guides about what to do, how to feel, what to be. I'm a teacher first and foremost. My guides are teaching guides. They are teaching me and teaching you how to do this work. It's why I'm publishing a book now. I've been, I have a book being published. It's why I've been doing this work for so many years. It's why I stepped out of reading, because I want people how to learn to do this for themselves. That is my guidance system. So whenever I do channeling, it's not going to be me telling you. It's going to be me taking you on a journey for an experience. Okay, Daniel, we can take a couple of questions now if you like. I'd love to know what people felt in the chat, please. It's super important to me. Feedback is always important to me, not because of somebody was once said, it doesn't matter, you don't need to know the story. For me, it's a group effort. It's always a group effort, so I like it. Okay, go ahead, Daniel.
Yeah, I was going to say, if anybody has any questions or anything that they would like to ask Marilyn, please feel free to raise your hand or put your question or comment in the chat.
Yeah, and I can answer anything that anybody has. Go ahead, Sandra. By the way, everybody, this is Sandra Pelly. She's a force to be reckoned with. She's amazing. Hi, sweetie.
Sandra, are you okay if I put you on video?
Yes, I am. Thank you. I had a real awareness there. Obviously, I've done this many times with you as a participant, and the light has always gone to the same spot in my body when you ask about the light. And I just realized that that area of the light is literally where I dislocated my pelvis back in 2000.
Oh, wow.
Huge awareness around that, because that was the real stepping into all the holistic field in such a powerful way. So I was just blown away just now. So thank you for that.
You know what I'm going to say to you, Sandra, because I know that story, because I know Sandra for a long time. And that was when you fully started owning all your magic and all your gifts. And you stepped powerfully out in it. And you're also getting ready to accelerate into the next level of your life. So I want you to spend some time there. But you know what I want you to do? Move it into your feet. Because there's something about your feet, like you walking, and even when you're walking and bicycling, but I want you paying attention to the road as best you can go with the intention, but make sure they ground you. So don't do the bicycle yet, do walking first, because of you can fly out so quickly. Walk in the world with this light and notice what happens. Also for you, because I know you're very gifted, notice where the light is spreading out. Now, we talked about galactic energy with you. That's coming in much stronger. And I know you do light language, but this is something of a whole new essence. It's a whole new energy. It's not that it's not familiar to you. It's that some type of modality is going to come through you from this that is going to expand lifetimes in people. It's going to expand so much work. You are no longer allowed to stay half shadowed. Spirit shows me you like on outside let me explain this, talking to like lots of people. Now, here's the thing. I feel like you and me might be similar this way, might not. I personally don't want to stand in front of 2,000 people and teach them. 500 people I could probably do. Decide what that is now. Don't cap it out. But I want you to plan. They want you to dream the way you're meant to dream and not the way everybody else does it, because that's your magic. You have big things happening. If you can take 3 days or at least a day where you turn off everything, I need you to do that. Even if it's 2 hours at first, because they are like, so that makes sense to you?
Entire sense. In fact, I actually am going to be posting in your group about this road and walking on one side of the road and never crossing the road. And that's so exactly what you just said, because I made the decision yesterday that I am going to start to cross the road to be seen. So this is just so perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, honey. Great job. Great job. I can't wait to hear what happens. Great. Okay, who else has questions?
So one thing that I just want to jump in really quickly, because Sandra mentioned your group. Within the special offer, we have a $1 1 month introduction into Marilyn's group, which is an amazing experience. I would highly recommend it. So please take advantage of that. Marilyn is also going to be offering a program for all of the listeners at a future date and time, which I will email out to everybody later on as well. But at the moment, you can take advantage of getting into Marilyn's group for a month for $1. So it's MarilynAlauria.com/trial. And this is my membership program. And it's teachers from around the world that come in and teach, because I'm not an expert in every field. I don't know a lot about crystals. I don't like astrology, but we have an astrology class in there. I don't say, just because I don't resonate with something, that's not how I run this program. Sandra's a teacher in there. She has a class in there, and she's doing another class come this fall. We have so much in there because we have all these experts that have this incredible stuff to teach that I'm not going to teach. And so it's all in there. So there's tons of classes. There's practice circles. There's a practice reading circles happening. There's Q&A. There's just so much. It's such a beautiful community. So here it is. I'll put it in the chat. Trial. Okay, let me see. So people are afraid to raise their hands. Oh no, Raquel did. And then I'll take some from the chat. Do you want to do something from the chat first, or do you want to bring Raquel in?
Bring Raquel on. So
all right, perfect.
Hi, Raquel. Nice to meet you.
Raquel, are you okay if I put you on video? And you're muted.
There you go.
You're ready. You're okay with being on video, right,
You're
Raquel?
okay being on video?
Yes, that's fine. That's absolutely right. That's fine. Hi, Marilyn. I have a question. When you said find a place of light within you, I was in the light. I was emanating light, and then my guides were around me, to my right, to my left, and in front of me. And then I said, what do I do? And they just said, breathe the light. And then they disappeared, and I was in a ball of light, pool of light. I don't know, it was just light, and I was breathing the light. And you were talking in the background, and I couldn't really hear you, but I was just breathing the light. And then I tried to ask my guides, what is this? And they said, just ask the question. Do you have any idea what that was?
So they said to you to ask the question to me, or to ask the question to them?
To you.
Okay. So yes, I do completely. But let me ask you this first, Raquel. How did it feel?
Wonderful.
Did it feel
wonderful?
Did it feel like your guides?
Yes, all my guides were there.
Yeah.
All my guides, all my girls, everyone was there.
Great. Do you know your guides intimately?
Yes.
Okay, good. So the light is, for me, for you, an invitation to, whew, so there's a couple of things happening to me in your energy, Raquel. Right away, my arms are crossed. Usually I don't cross my arms. I don't feel like you're not receiving, because I do feel like you're a receiver, but I feel like there's more where they want to take you, that you're kind of like doing this a little bit too. You have doors behind you in the picture that was super important to me the minute you came on camera. They are inviting you into a new way of accessing them, a new way of information, a new way of being with them. They're asking you that you go into a room of light, that you sit with them in that room, and that you ask them the questions and allow them to continue the answer, because they're elevating your consciousness to a whole other level. And they're also bringing in a different consciousness. Guides will shift and change, whether they physically shift or change, which can happen. I'm not going to get into that, but their consciousness is also shifting because your elevation is happening as well. They're asking that you record or write these sessions, because something is going to go out into a manuscript or recorded form. It's going to be a type of teaching or helping of others. Your pelvis area is bothering me a little bit. That's about creativity. I want you owning your creative self. Now, I don't feel like you're not creative. I feel like you're fairly open. So never hear it like I'm saying you're doing something wrong, because that's not what they're saying. They're saying, how do we open her up more? How do we excite her more? Now, I don't do a thing about past lives. To me, is parallel time. I don't really get into past lives, but you have lived in these other arenas and you're traveling to them quite a bit. Invite them into the light. Invite the multidimensional conversation into the light, and things are going to accelerate. The breathing I had a problem with in the beginning. Here's two things that are coming through to me right now. Breathing is a lack of trust. I don't feel like it's about trusting your guides. It's trusting where we're going in life. What it's feeling like to me is, are you ready for the level of awareness that could be brought to you, consciousness, people looking at you, if you go to this next level? Are you okay with that?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
I had that sense in there too. I knew that when I go into the space with my guides, it felt different. I've never been the light. I've always seen the light, but I've never been the light. It felt different, and it felt like, whew, what's coming next? But now you've answered my question.
And I gave you an action-oriented step to do. So you got that, right? Go back to the recording and listen to that. Okay, so this resonates with you.
Yes, it does.
Great. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Good luck. Have fun.
Thank you. I will.
You're welcome.
I will. Thank you.
Great. So I will go into the chat now, since nobody else has raised their hand. Let me go up above, take a few more. If I had, this is Katie, hopefully Katie's still, I want to make sure Katie's still on. That's how I do this, because I'm a pro at doing this. If I had undeniably at age of 5 years heard a guide speak to me in my head to avoid a life-threatening situation, would clairaudience be my primary gift and then the others be there as well? So Katie, that's a great question. Okay, honey. Obviously you had clairaudience when you were a child. You can definitely have it today. My main question to you is two questions. One, are you hearing today? Do you know if you're hearing? There's different ways to hear. And then do you want to hear? So a lot of times people that have experiences when they're little, they'll say to me all the time, you know, I shut it down and I want to get it back. And I'm like, well, wait a second. You don't want to get that back. You want to grow it bigger. Because when people stay focused on how they did it in the past, which is not in your question, but I'm using it as a teaching moment, and I feel I have to reveal it. When people want to get back to where they were, they can't move forward. So my answer to you is yes, open up clairaudience. It's all in your throat chakra. There's ways to hear, and there's definite beautiful things. Like if you go into membership, I have a whole class on it, and there's different classes about channeling and guidance and all of that. Work with that and open it up. But clairaudience can be waking up with a song in your head. Did you guys get a song, something from the light? Did the light sing you something? That's clairaudience, right? So definitely dive into it. The way you can dive into clairaudience, everybody can do it. Go outside or stay inside, close your eyes, set your timer for 30 seconds, close your eyes and listen to the actual physical sounds in the room. Many times when I do this with people, one sound is more prominent than another. And the interesting about this too can be, it's the refrigerator in the corner, but you're hearing it in your right ear. This is the ways to open up to clairaudience. So I would definitely go with that. That's great. Julie said, whole body started tingling when you discussed being blocked about speaking our truth. And when I put my palms on the throat and heart chakra, both palms, this is beautiful, Julia, both palms started radiating warm and had a pink glow. It's telling you have healing energy in your hands, you can heal yourself. Okay. So that I love. And Julia's on here. So that's really beautiful. Thank you. XI Pure Brilliance. Wow, this is powerful. Your energy is exhilarating. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Bev, is Bev still on?
Yes, Bev is still
on. Great. Bev, I don't know if you'll come on camera to talk. I would love to hear about your struggles and your distraction, but you may be at work where you can't. Let me see if she can or can't. If not, I'll work with you via chat. So Bev said she didn't get anything. However, I did get distracted from someone walking into the room. So Bev, let's break this down. Did you, and everybody can do this. Did you get a light? Did you see a light? See, that's why I would need you on camera, but let's see if we can work with her. No. Yes. Okay. So you got a light. Bev, did you, I'm trying to remember, when you put your hands on your throat chakra and your heart chakra, did you feel anything, or did anything happen to your system? No. Okay. This may be too difficult for me to do with you, Bev. After the whole experience, how did you feel? Lost. Okay. It may be too hard for me to do with you. Are you at work? Yeah. So this is what may be happening, Bev. What may be happening is, so I would need you on camera to go deeper with you usually, but let me just explain how this goes. If you have a lot of distractions around you, you're not feeling fully safe to dive into what this experience would be. Because remember I said before, almost like trance channeling, you're going into a very deep space. And then if somebody enters the room or an earthquake happens, your whole system's going to do this. So you may be struggling with that experience because of the circumstances around you. You're too aware, like my boss may come in, somebody may come in, something may be happening. So like Daniel said, go back to the recording when you're in a safe space and see what comes through. The other thing may be happening, Beth, is that you may not be giving credibility to what is happening. You may be in a state of, it doesn't work, it never works for me, I'm struggling. And I'm not saying you're being difficult. That's not what I'm saying. A lot of us go through that. I went through that in sometimes in the beginning. Actually, it happened pretty fast for me, but that's because I had a lot of training and dream work beforehand. But notice your thoughts. Take it out of your thoughts and into what I'm telling you to do. And it is my experience, and I've taught thousands upon thousands of people, Bev. It is my experience that if they just follow my voice and they do different things and they get it, and when the head self-doubt comes in and they say, not now, not now, not now, and they go back into my words and what I'm saying and the vibration of my words, usually, I'm going to say 99% of the time, 98% of the times, people have an experience. So that is what I'm going to suggest to you. The other thing I would suggest to you, Bev, is go through, Daniel has a lot of people on this program, right? So maybe more will be doing meditations and stuff like that. And I have a podcast too, Who Can It Be Now? And there's a lot on my podcast. There's even walking meditations. Honey, what I'd have you do is write. Maybe it's not safe to go inside, or maybe you're too distracted. Sometimes I get people in my programs that they fall asleep. So I'm like, well, don't close your eyes. Keep your eyes open. Look around you. I don't care if I'm telling you, pay attention to the light in your body. Just see where your eyes go. There's so many tricks to get this monkey mind to stop. And I'm not, sweetie, I'm not saying anything bad about you, but I just, because I can't talk to you. So just forgive me if that insulted you. I didn't mean to. But we all have this like chatter. And the biggest thing that gets in everybody's way, mind chatter. It's the only thing that I've noticed that gets in people's way. So if we can get this turned off and get into this, you're going to have experiences. That's what I believe. You can let me know what you think. Adriana said she had a lot of distractions too. Okay. All right, Daniel. Okay. I hope that helped you, honey. I wasn't like, it's well, usually when I work with people live, I can ask them and ask them specific questions. And then I'm like, did you da-da-da? And they're like, yeah, I did. And they didn't give credibility to something that did happen. So, okay. All right.
Marilyn, I know that you had kind of a hard stop at the top of the hour.
I can take Chiara real quick. Yeah.
Yeah,
Is that
okay.
how she says her name?
Chiara?
Chiara. How do you say it?
Chiara.
It's like
Chiara.
like a K.
Chiara.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, it's only because I'm in the process of editing my manuscript. So I did get a little bit done before the Telesummit, which I didn't think I was going to be able to do.
Okay.
And I have to hand it in today. Hi, Chiara.
I have a question. Okay. I have very difficult to stay present.
Yeah.
And I was able to stay present before for a very long time, and I was shocked about that. And then after the last exercise, it's like I was not in the class. I don't remember what we did or what happened. And I am having trouble to go back in stay present. So
this is what I'd want you to do, because you're already playing, they're using you already, you're not staying conscious and present. You might be moving more into a trans-channeled state. I don't remember my channel sessions, like I said, sweetie. So with you, while you're learning, you can say to them, don't fully take me away. I want to be semi-conscious. I want to be aware. I want to be it. And then I'd have you do different things. Go ahead. Do you want to say something?
The funny part is that when I'm channeling, after that, I am completely present in my body, focused. I have no problem during that. Is during all the rest of the day or of the week that I have problem be in myself, in my body.
So there might be a couple of things happening. Is maybe you're not supposed to. Maybe you're not supposed to do how I'm doing it with you. Maybe you're just supposed to do your own way.
Okay.
I don't know. Or what I would have you do is, if you can't stay present during the teachings, write then. Allow writing to come through. Do it with your eyes open. Or do it where you just focus on one word or one thing they say and stay conscious to that. What maybe, let me ask you something. When you channel, sweetie, are you recording it, or are you just, you are. So you're recording it into a recorder, right?
Yeah.
So what might be really great for you is when you do these exercises with other people, you're obviously muted, record what's happening. Do the same thing. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah.
What's your doubt, or what's your hesitation, or what's your experience right now?
That this happen always, basically. So even when I'm talking with people in the street or whatever, when I doing whatever. So
is that okay for you?
Well, no, because it's like dreaming my life,
right,
instead of living.
Okay. So you get to decide that. Why are you letting them run the ship?
Okay.
You get to say, so with my guides, I laid the law down. You don't get to do this. You don't get to come in when I'm playing tennis or in the beginning. I don't have to do this anymore. We have a great relationship. I would have you have a conversation with them, even write it. I don't believe in contracts because I don't like that whole energy, but I would write it out. I would attend it. You are not allowed to do this to me anymore. You have to set that. I don't ascribe to the channelers who are like, just come and use me. I don't teach that way. This is a co-creation, a partnership.
Okay. This is
because you know what I think is happening to you is you're so excited by what's going on. I mean, it's so magical, isn't it?
Yeah, I love that part. I really love that part. But I think this, I know this start way before the channeling. I spent my life out of my body.
Right.
Basically.
Here's another reason. So I did too. And until I found, I don't like the word purpose because I feel it shifts, but until I found my purpose with my gifts, I stopped doing that because I needed to be present in my human body to teach people how to do it. Have you anchored into your purpose with your channeling? Why you're channeling, what you're meant to do? what you want to do. And I don't like the word purpose because people hang their hat on it and it could shift and change.
Yeah.
Do you
Okay.
know what it is? You don't
Yeah,
have to verbalize it, but
No, it's okay. I want to help people to overcome the fear of death.
Oh, beautiful. Love that. Love that. Okay, so now start putting parameters around it. Okay, so let me just share, because you're bringing up some great questions. I love this. I teach that we're the instrument. That's what I teach. So what I suggest to you may not be a full resonation. You have to find your truth in my words. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm not like this way or the highway. I meet people where they're at. I would definitely have you set parameters. The thing that I did with my guides when I opened up, I said, well, when I finally agreed to do this work, I said, again, I told them, you're not doing it to me. I'm not going to be that drive-by reader. Like you have a dead person behind you, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to do it. About 6 years into my channeling, they stopped me in my tracks and they said, we need to now come through whenever we want to come through. Are you okay with this? We need to be able to talk to you all the time. And I didn't know why they were doing that. And I said, yes, we have a great relationship now. I'm okay with this. I learned how to live my life. What they were preparing me for was I was being shopped around for my own TV show. So I was going into very big entertainment companies. So I had to go in as myself, my personality. Then I had to turn on the reading. My guides knew that I wouldn't be able to go into a meditation for 30 minutes. I wouldn't be able to say to the executives, can you hold on a minute? I'm just going to go. They knew they had to be there. They will prep you for everything, but it's always a co-creative process. So I knew in that moment. Now I don't even need to go into meditation. It's a constant communication, but I'm living my life physically. Does that help you, sweetie?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have is there anything I didn't understand that you have a further question about?
No, I think for now I have the answer I need.
Okay.
And probably I will contact you later.
Yeah, I think you're I think you're so excited about the work you're meant to do that it's fun to fly out. It is so fun. But now you need to be here to deliver the work. Okay.
Yeah.
Great job. Good work. I love it.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. What a fun group. Thanks, everyone. Go ahead, Daniel.
Yeah,
Sure.
so if you've got a couple minutes, Marilyn, I would love for you to address a couple comments that were in the chat. XI Pure Brilliance mentioned that they would like to expand into their heart intelligence / brain. And then a little bit further down, they say that they know what their abilities are. They don't know what their abilities are, although they know that they're an empath. And now I'm curious if there's anything that comes through that might be helpful.
Well, what's interesting with the question is, I would really like to expand into my heart intelligence brain. So check this out, okay? And then they say, I don't know what my abilities are, although I know that I'm an empath. I love this. So your heart is where your empathic ability also lives. And you're saying that you would love to expand. I have to go back to the question because there's something tripping me up here. You're saying that you would like to, hold on a second. I don't know how I'm getting a direct message. Just bear with me a second. So here's the thing, sweetie. You're saying you'd like to expand into your heart intelligence, your brain, but you're also saying that you're an empath. What happens to a lot of empaths, and I'd love to know what you think, sweetie. Again, I don't know. I'm going to go there. I'm realizing pronouns wise, I'm going to have to get more educated on how I address people. So forgive me if I'm not doing it the proper way. I'm still working on this. So the thing that I would love for you to do is to recognize that you may have shut down your heart because you're so empathic. Empaths have we're all empathic. A lot of us, I imagine everybody on this call is, we have a very difficult time being in the world because we feel so much. It's amazing to me how somebody could walk by a scene and they won't feel anything. And I'll be like crying a bit. And our heart is so important. We can't shut it down. So I have a feeling because you're so empathic, you may have shut this area down a tiny bit because it was a protection mechanism. So what I would like you to do is you can listen to that meditation and just spend time in your heart. Go into your heart chakra and see it like a room. Feel your heart and get to know your heart on a very intimate level. But here's the other thing I would have you do. So I see chakras as a room. I see the front, the back, the sides. Thank you. And then I go into that room and I will like decorate it. I will spend time in it. I will breathe in it. The thing is that if you open and close your chakra, I'll tell that in a second. Thank you. So you just get in there and just be with your heart chakra. Get to be friends with it again. Get to know it. And then when you go out into the world, I don't do this, but some people have to do this. You can shut down the chakra so that it's not like leading out in the world and you're feeling every single thing around. So the way that people said to shut it down is like, it's like a blinds, almost like window blinds where you're shutting the window blinds a bit and they're open a tiny bit and you can go out. There's other ways to do it. I don't want you shutting it down completely though. I want you to learn how to be of the world in your heart. And when you feel safe in your heart in the world, this is going to open up so much more. So that to me is what's going to expand your intelligence, your heart intelligence and your brain, which is here. Okay. I'm going to have to go in a second, but let me just see if they said anything. So, and don't worry about your abilities right now. You don't know what your abilities are. I feel like you're clairvoyant with the empath, and it doesn't mean you can't be clairaudient and claircognizant as well, because claircognizance coming in a bit. Work with clairvoyancy and the empathic ability for right now. I feel like that would help you. Okay. Yeah, so this is sweet. This is way like, so your heart is closed because you're an empath, but you can open up your heart by sitting inside of it. I've also escaped my heart space and am in my brain too much, monkey mind crazies. So just, this is way too much for me to be able to do in a telesummit. And I'm not saying this for any other reason than it is. This is process. But I just got 111 with you. So this is new beginnings into mind, body, and soul. So if you could at night, just be with your heart a bit and breathe into it, keep a dream journal by your bed, and then just say, keep me safe, just keep me safe. And when you go out in the world, if you're not ready to go out with your heart yet, because you have to learn how to work this, then that's okay. Just be with your heart at night and then say, okay, when I go in the world, I have to put my armor on. Put on, that's what I teach people. Put on armor if that makes you feel safe. And then at night, when you feel safe in your own home, take the armor off and be in your heart. There's different ways I teach it. So that's what I would suggest to you. Just going to take one more real quick. As far as typing my whole body, she sent this to me privately. So I just want to see something like that before I was typing my whole body, started reading his comment. Is this typical in channeling? So she reached out to Bev privately. I'm not going to get into that's the conversation between them. She said her whole body was radiating calming warmth. Yes, it's typical. So when you raise your vibration for channeling, they lower theirs, you will sweat profusely in the beginning. You will have, like I used to sweat so much. Now I don't because it's quick. Takes a while too to work your vibration up, takes them a while to work the vibration down. So in the beginning, when I started channeling, it was a good 30 minutes of me getting my vibration up to them. In readings, it would happen a little bit quicker. No, that's not true because I used to meditate like about 30 minutes before I went into a reading. Okay, so whatever you reached out to Bev, I'm going to leave that between the two of you, but I just wanted to answer that. Okay, great. That's it. I don't have anything else.
Awesome. Well, thank you for everything that you've shared. And for anybody that's interested in working with Marilyn, of course, in the website, there's links to her content, to her website. As you know, Marilyn, I love you amazingly. Really honored that you are part of this experience with me and with us. And thank you very much. I don't know what else, if there's anything that you would like to end on.
Yeah, I want to thank you for creating such a beautiful community of people. I mean, really just such lovely energy and such incredible. And that the only thing, so thank you, Daniel, for this opportunity to speak to everyone today. And I really appreciate that. I appreciate what you're creating in this world. So I just want to say that. Thank you. And then for everybody else, I just want to say that everything you desire, gifts-wise, you have. Just learn how to work it, learn how to open up to it, learn how to be it. We're all gifted. There's nobody who's, just because I've been doing this longer, I may be at a different level, that doesn't mean anything. So we all are gifted. So that's what I want to say to all of you. All right. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Beautiful. And for everyone else, we will see you at the top of the next hour for the next session with Sandra, who you met in this call.
Oh,
So
good. Have fun with Sandra. She's great.
Will do. And so until next time, being spirit, being human, and simply being from love. And we will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you for being part of this incredible experience. We hope that this session has inspired a new level of understanding within you, allowing you to expand more easily into the essence of your true self and become an even more powerful alchemist in your own life. We invite you to listen to the session again and again in order to go deeper each time and expand even more. Have it be via the replays or the unlimited access package. If you have enjoyed being part of this event, we invite you to tell your friends so that they can join us in the future. We are grateful that you are here, and we thank you for co-creating this experience with us. Until next time, we leave you with being spirit, being human, and simply being from love.